servers that are data or programs using the internet. Over the last few years, cloud computing services have leapt to the forefront of computing technology. It is in the process of replacing the PC age as the most popular and efficient means of computing. It provides users of the cloud with a plethora of benefits when compared to local servers or PCs. These benefits include being able to access data anywhere with a device that has an internet connection and being able to work with multiple people on the same project at the same time. So the three main types of clouds models are the public cloud, the private cloud, and a hybrid cloud. The public cloud is computing. The public cloud is Public cloud computing is a place for members of the general public to have access to cloud services and storage. It provides a multi-tenant storage environment where global data centers store users' data. It is best suited for unstructured data. The provider of the cloud services allows its customers access to applications and storage for free up until a certain point. Oftentimes, the services use a data limit as the threshold between free usage and paid usage. Private cloud computing is an on-premise cloud service for firms that provides the same benefits of the public cloud, but is provided only to a single organization. This means that data and programs are shared only between members of that firm, and only members of that firm have access to the cloud used in it. They're often protected by a firm's firewall in order to protect the data that is sensitive to that firm. Private cloud services are best reserved for firms that have dynamic, changing computer or data needs. The hybrid cloud is a blend of both the public and private clouds. This blend allows firms to shift workloads between public and private cloud services. Oftentimes, more secure and centralized data is kept on the private cloud services, while large, unstructured streams of data are typically kept using public cloud storage. This allows firms greater flexibility and more data deployment options. A few of the most widely utilized cloud computing services today are Google Drive, Microsoft Office Online, Dropbox, and the Apple iCloud. Google Drive is Google's version of the public cloud. It gives everyday users access to Google's cloud-based storage and applications with an ease of use that is fitting for basic users. It uses Google's cloud platform to run a variety of applications, including Google Sheets, Gmail, Google Docs, and Google Slides. Microsoft Office Online is a recently developed web-based version of Microsoft's popular local programs. These programs offered include Excel, Access, Publisher, and other Microsoft programs. These programs take the interface and accessibility of Microsoft's local programs and allows users to run them purely through the internet. This means that the data is no longer stored on the user's computer, but is stored on Microsoft's cloud, which lets users create, share, and save data using these Office programs purely online. Dropbox is another very popular public cloud service. It is another cloud service that allows users to store and access files anywhere that they have connectivity. It is a safe storage and sharing space for all of your photos, videos, files, and other data. The Apple iCloud is Apple's version of a public cloud service. It is designed specifically for the use by Apple products. It gives users limited space on which to store their personal files and offers many programs like Google, including Slides, Sheets, and a word processing program. iCloud users also get the application called Find My iPhone, which is a tracking app that allows one to find their phone if it is misplaced. The iCloud, although designed for Apple users, allows web-only access for those who do not use Apple products. A few advantages of using the cloud are productivity and security and accessibility. So productivity is typically increased by the use of the cloud inside of a firm. And this is because users can work on the same project at the same time, allowing more progress and collaboration from individuals. The programs also do not need to be downloaded, so the files and data can be accessed anywhere with an internet connection and on any device that allows for internet connectivity. If a company were to switch from PC computing over to cloud-based services, costs are often reduced. And this is because purchasing the cloud services often cuts down on the costs that are needed to purchase large amounts of software to run local programs. It also decreases maintenance costs because the cloud service provider does the maintenance on their own servers, rather than the firm having to pay for the maintenance directly onto their own software. And costs for cloud services are usually usage-based, which means that a company only has to pay for what it uses, also drastically reducing cost. So cloud services reduce maintenance costs for firms as stated in the cost section. They're greatly reduced when firms change to cloud services over local programs. And this is because there's no installation costs necessary, and the service providers cover all of the maintenance because all of the data is stored on their servers. And security and accessibility are usually increased when switching to a cloud service. This is because storing data on the cloud centralizes the data, which increases the security of the data rather than storing it on local networks. This centralization also allows for increased accessibility because it is all centralized in one area. Cloud providers also have increased resources and skills to provide higher security levels for data stored on their servers. A few disadvantages of the cloud are downtime, bandwidth drawbacks, and security. Downtime is when a cloud service temporarily goes out of service. This happens occasionally, which restricts users from accessing their files for a certain amount of time. This can be because of a technical issue within the cloud service, or it can be the service provider doing necessary maintenance to their cloud servers. And this is bad for firms who pay for the services because it means they lose the ability to access their files and data that they pay to store on the cloud. There are also bandwidth drawbacks. And cloud providers often allow firms to use a certain amount of bandwidth. These firms pay for X amount of bandwidth. And if firms exceed this amount of allotted bandwidth, they often face heavy penalties. This is much like many cell phone data plans today. The cell phone company allows you a certain amount of data per month, and going over this amount means that you have to pay a hefty penalty. And security. Now, this was mentioned in the advantage section, but it can also be a disadvantage. Cloud service providers often have increased resources to prevent violations in security and data storage, but this doesn't mean that their services are impenetrable. Having all of the data stored in one place can be a tempting chance for one to hack into the servers of a cloud company in order to steal the data that is stored within the servers. However, these cloud companies are very skilled and prudent when it comes to preventing the loss of data. So in conclusion, you can see that the world is moving increasingly towards a world of only cloud-based products. Just look around you in a classroom, a lecture, or an office, and you'll see many cloud products being utilized. This shows that consumers and firms alike are taking advantage of the cloud services provided to them in order to advance the world of business and technology. And this is largely in part of the ability of the cloud to allow users to expand and share data and knowledge quicker, easier, and more efficiently than ever before, thanks to the iCloud.